Hello and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Priestess Gorgêous and I'll be your oracle today. I'll be bringing you the Revolving Doors series for November, okay? So the Revolving Doors series is the karmic relationship cast. Think of it as a revolving door. Oftentimes you're in a cycle and then you need to open up the door to let energy leave because it no longer serves you. Now, when I say revolving door, sometimes it just means there's people coming into and out of our lives. Soulmates are typically catalytic in nature. So if you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Now, the reason we call it revolving door is because, again, people that you attract aren't always meant to stay in your life forever. Sometimes they come into your life just until you're able to recognize the cycle that you're in with them, and then they're free to go. Oftentimes, whatever you attract when you're projecting because of the suppression and the repression of your divinity, oftentimes you'll manifest another person to show them to you. So there's always a soulmate, but soulmates could either be, on one hand, karmic, and on the other hand, they could be catalytic. So catalytic soulmates is typically those soulmates that grow into life partners or grow into twin flame. And oftentimes if they're twin flame, you need to remove the karma there before you go into the healing together. So karmic relationships is typically when there's a sincere issue to the relationship and you're unable to let yourself out of it, or the other person's unable to let themselves out of it. I'll speak a little bit more about it in just a second. So the cards we'll be using today, I use these for the Revolving Door series. I just want to warn you that they're adult in nature. It's the Taroki de Casanova, Tarot of the Casanova. Again, 18 and over for the Revolving Door because these are graphic cards. Okay, so if nudity's gonna offend you, just take a break from this cast, and I'll see you on the next video. And then I'll be using the Keys to the Universe from the Thoth deck. So I'll be using the 22 major arcana in the actual reading, and I'll be using the 56 minor arcana for clarification if necessary. I'll also be using an Angel Answers card for the combined energy. So we got that here. Okay, and why don't we go ahead and begin. Again, my name is Priestess Gorgêous. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I want to invite you to smash that like button or hit the subscribe button. And I appreciate your viewership. Whoa, hold on. This energy is pretty intense, so let me ground in and get the messages, okay? Just give me a second to focus. Whew, yeah, this energy is pretty intense. I wonder who sent the message, because this is some intense energy. It's okay, it's okay. Okay, so we got the cards here. And I'm a little bit behind in my timing. I'm not super behind in the schedule. What I'm trying to say is if you hear noise in the background, I'm still doing some temple chores, so I gotta get this video out, okay? Okay, so the message is from the Wheel of Fortune, so that could be, the Wheel of Fortune represents all the higher forces, but it's the universe coming to bring something down here in the material plane, if that makes sense. So basically the heavens has handled something, and now you need to bring it into the physical, bring it into the material plane. Whew. So, right now in the third dimension, it's as if the one who is the receptive partner, okay, that's going to be this side here. The non-receptive partner will be this side here. Right now, since we're in the muddled third dimension, typically the female is the chaser. Not always. And traditionally, in a more divine society, it's the masculine archetype, doesn't matter your gender, that would be the chaser, be the one pursuing the relationship. Not so much right now. We're kind of in a world right now when there's a divine connection. The female, the feminine archetype is the one trying to manifest the relationship, because the spirituality is embodied by the masculine, okay, and the emotions and the feminine, the emotions and the feelings are embodied by the feminine. Typically, the feminine is receiving those intuitive guidances, and they're trying to reflect them back to the masculine. The masculine will be chasing away. And again, when I say masculine, it's really more the archetype. If you are someone who goes out and gets and brings it home, you're more of the initiative force. And if you're the one who receives and transforms into a higher octave, the nurturing, receptive partner, the yin energy, that would be the feminine archetype. And again, this is a non-binary reading, so you don't have to be heterosexual or even homosexual or even cisgendered for this. If you find that you're stuck in a cycle under the double energy, this is for you. So in the heavens, the way that the connection looks is that the one who typically would embody the feminine, the receptive energy in the relationship, needs to kind of do some soul searching, needs to spend some time alone, maybe even. Now the masculine, one person here, normally the feminine, it's taking some time alone, or they have been alone, they have been isolated, and I'm feeling that's the way it's going. This month, the energy we're coming into the month with is the one who has been, I'm going to just say masculine, feminine. So the masculine archetype here needs to take a leap. Needs to take a leap of faith. They need to manifest this relationship if they want. We'll continue going through this energy and we'll see what's going on. Now, the feminine, and again, remember, it doesn't matter your gender assigned at birth. It matters what archetype you embody 75% of the time, because sometimes you're going to switch. Now, this is a karmic relationship, not so much a divine partnership. So it doesn't, you don't need to switch roles. You need to expedite the karma, take your medicine, either grow together furthermore and heal together, then you would be catalytic or life partners, or decide to heal apart once you've completed the cycle, and y'all would move on to a more divine healing relationship that's in alignment with your values. But if you're the feminine this month, since I'll talk to you, since it's Scorpio month, it's the feminine sign, feminine, you're needing some time alone, or you have been spending a lot of time alone because there's some truth that's come through. I'm hearing the word growth and expansion. So it could be renewal if you've taken the time to figure out what's alive in you, what your needs are. Now for the masculine, it's going to be that they're taking a leap. There's a new beginning for them. And it's just because something's been hidden about the love, about the bond too. So this is a deeply bonded connection, and it is soulmates. It is karmic soulmates, though, because I feel like it's a three-party situation. The feminine is thinking in the future, I could be in a two-party situation, okay? And the masculine is unaware or unresponsive to the love. So again, you know, if you're not dealing with the feminine masculine, the initiator and the receiver. So the initiator needs to, they've withdrawn their energy and they've put their own desires first, and their desires happen to be for the connection here, but they're not being shared right now, and that's the obstacle. So this archetype is hidden love. So it would probably appear to the feminine or to the receptive partner as like, you know, what is it, unrequited love. However, in about 3 weeks, you're going to notice, if you're a feminine watching, or if you're the one waiting on a message, that there's going to be some type of reunion. Now, it's not going to be a reconciliation. Okay, it's not Six of Cups, it's Three of Cups. That's a reunion, a refresh, a renewal. And it also could be casually dating. So feminine, if you've withdrawn your energy, casually dating is good. Just get out and know your worth and embody that. You don't need to get into an intimate relationship. If you make it even to bed pleasures, that's all that you need, just to kind of have a win on your side. And it's not competition between this other person. Think of it more as, okay, you know, homeboy needs to get it together. I'm waiting on them to heal. I'm waiting on them to get a clue. I'm waiting on them to wake up, whatever it is, you know, whatever your story is. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving. And I need to withdraw my energy because I don't want to be caught in the devil's energy in some cycle where there's a disproportionate power dynamic. So you know what? I'm not serious. I'm still healing myself. I don't really want to be deeply bonded with my heart open to somebody that I'm not sure about. But why don't I get out there and see what's there? I'm not on a rebound because I'm not looking for anything, but whatever manifests should be healed. healing since I have no expectation. And I want to say to the ladies, you know, I haven't opened up that Cosmic Lotus coaching program yet for those looking for dating advice or internal sovereignty advice, but one of the models of that class or coaching program is that, you know, you need to have low pickiness, low expectations, but high standards. Okay, so go out there and spend your time away from this person that you're waiting on a message from with no expectations. Just meet people, be available and open to opportunities, because again, if it is a karmic situation and you do get your healing, this oftentimes comes up when somebody has finally found their power in the double energy, or has become a bright light in a dark place. And that's on the feminine side. So the one who's more receptive, whether it's male or female, the one who is not so initiative, the one who is more soft and reflective and emotional and receptive to the connection. Now, the focus on both sides, and again, for the feminine this month, since we are talking to the feminine, we have the Judgment card with the Tower. All right, so the universe will speak, and it's probably the divine feminine that will speak, because what'll happen is there'll be a sense of attraction that's received on the masculine side, or the masculine will perceive some type of energetic bond, not so much love bond, but like the passion, the libido, the vitality, the fire will get moving again. Now, this is about putting your heart and soul into something, courage, because there's been a separation. They're not in communication right now. This here, okay? So this is, I'm going to talk a little bit about the couple, then I'm going to do a couple extra layers. We'll do this until 45, and then I'll read the sermon, and then we'll see you next month. But so the masculine is looking to have courage this month. It does seem like they have been in love, but they've been scared to say it or unwilling to say it. Maybe there was something secret, or there was an untruth that turned into a lie because the masculine allowed it to perpetuate. So perhaps the masculine didn't correct the feminine and say, hey, I am married, or hey, I'm whatever, going through a divorce, whatever, you know, different strokes for different folks. And it is divorce energy. So that was a mic drop, and I'm getting hiccups right now, so there's several different spirits trying to give me messages, so let me just calm down for a second. Whenever I see a 3 of Swords and something about justice or courage or passion, the Devil and the Strength card talk about like sex energy. It could talk about a divorce or a third-party situation, and there's 2 3s here. So there's inequality issues on one side. One person doesn't feel equal to the other person, or one person feels frozen out. Now, collectively in the connection here, there's a little bit of backstabbing or cheating or competition even between. So I feel like the masculine is worried, wants to get back at the feminine, or needs the courage to reveal a truth or accept a truth. And the feminine would, you know, I'm getting competition, but I'm not able to pinpoint where it is. And it is on the masculine side. Competitiveness, or what is the word? Combativeness. Whenever I see the Chariot in reverse, and that's in the sacrifice to be made. So temper, masculine, temper your combativeness. I don't know what it is. I'm detecting your ego, and I'm going to be gentle right now, but I see this a lot in my practice where men want to be right. They think whatever they know is the way things want to go. And here's the situation. They're being practical. They're being rational. They oftentimes have obligations that aren't always known to their partner, especially if it's a newer relationship. It's not a deeply committed bond yet. Now, just because it's a bond and it's a deep bond doesn't mean they've practicalized it and they've made it third dimensional. So, you know, the thing about the feminine archetype is when she's trying to manifest a relationship, she's going to bring the unseen into the scene. She's going to bring the spirituality of the connection into the material. And the masculine is just going to try to manifest things according to the left side of the brain. It's kind of like, well, I see something to do, so I'm going to do it. You respond as a masculine archetype, whether or not you're assigned masculine at birth. You know, according to the archetype of the masculine, it's always about seeing and turning that in. You're judging from the left side of your brain. I can see it very clearly here. You need to temper your combativeness. Now, if you're a masculine who's not deeply competitive or combative, it could mean also that you're isolated, that you're stuck somewhere, that there's some deception here in the love, because it says the feminine is noticing that there's fear here in the love, or there's hidden things that could even be deception. So the moon card could talk about deception, can talk about hidden things. It could also talk about fear, especially when the Lovers card comes out there. So this is definitely a soulmate connection, but it's karmic. This means from the previous lifetime, you brought a bond. So y'all two are descended from the same soul group, and now you're down here in the material plane, and your spirits are trying to merge into one. Do you see the alchemy there? You know, the black and the white turns into, so that's alchemy. And you're trying to spiritualize this relationship from a previous lifetime with that moon card there. And this is in the position of the sacrifice to be made. So then we end the month, or we go into next month with, then the feminine has a secret here, because the masculine actually begins to change around the competitiveness. So here's what I know for sure so far. Generally, the masculine and the feminine that are under the domain of the devil, not under the domain of the heavens or the creator, they are in a competitive situation. It's the masculine giving a lot more combativeness, because we have combativeness, and it's confirmed. It like begins to whisper the story, then it begins to speak the story, and then it begins to shout the story, frankly. So yeah, let me just show you that energy. 5 of Swords with the Death card. So in terms of the evolving situation, is the masculine will make some cutbacks to any competition, make some cutbacks to any type of competitiveness, and will even put an end to the fighting, okay? And the feminine is unaware of that. So she's feeling out of alignment, either because she's feeling unreceptive, or that she cannot create something, or that she cannot collaborate on something, or she isn't being allowed to collaborate. And see, when the energy of the Empress comes out, it's still there, but in reverse, it's inverted. So either she needs to build herself up, or she needs to figure out what her own values, or she needs to give herself something. Ultimately, she's not feeling receptive to collaboration. And it could be because the other person isn't sharing anything. The other person might have even frozen her out. So this would be her feeling of being frozen out. And she knows that there's a cycle here where something in the connection will manifest. In the shared energy, we have this Justice card here. So karma will expedite, but it feels as if you're moving from the devil energy into the soulmate energy. And frankly, there's going to need to be a deep transformation here. So this is Saturn in either the 8th house or Scorpio. So what it does, that's an ego death. That's an ego death. Especially when you have Saturn in Leo here too. That's an ego death. That's an ego death. He's used to being right. He's used to getting his way. He's used to... And you don't like weak women because you get bored too quick. And you don't like strong women because they're hip to your tricks. So he's used to broken females, and she's no longer broken. She did her work, and he's pissed off about it. And he doesn't know he's pissed off about it. He thinks that there's either something wrong with her or something wrong with him. And what he's unwilling to do is be open-minded, open-hearted, free-spirited. Because if you feel a connection, go in the direction of the connection. Don't worry about what your ego, left brain is telling you. The ego is not bad. Inherently, it helps you make sense of the world and survive. Honey, homie, sweetie, darling, child, you ain't gonna have no divinity, no spirituality if a lion's chasing you down trying to eat you. But once you climbed a tree and you have a moment to breathe and collect your shenanigans, then you could be there and be like, okay, well, what's alive in me? What is the universe asking me to do? How do I connect to the creator and embody my spiritual desires here in the material plane? That's something that the masculine archetype doesn't get as easily as the feminine archetype, because the feminine always is in connection with the invisible world, unlike the masculine. Since he's egocentric, not always a bad word, but oftentimes can be, especially in the karmic relationship reading. Since he's egocentric, he could be operating from the left side of the brain, not willing to deal with the spirituality of the connection. That's going to come to an end, however, because he is refuting his spirituality. He feels an intuitive bond to her, and he's putting it to the side. He keeps being like, nope, 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 nope. You're not going to walk with me in my heart. Nope, 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 nope. You're not going to sit with me in my spirit. Nope, 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 nope. I don't know what I'm doing, therefore I need to shut you out. And listen, homie, this ain't no kindergarten show, is what I gotta say to you. So you better come correct, you better do your work, or you better get to stepping, because this ain't gonna go nowhere for you, ain't gonna do nothing for you if you can't come correct. And I mean that in a nice way, but she's clearly found her power, she's clearly sitting in her sovereignty, and she's still waiting on you. But listen, you got about 14 days. And I did say 3 weeks here, so what I detect is that she will leave you in 2 weeks energetically, and the moment you see the energy begin to withdraw, you're going to go barreling down the road towards her because you think she's not hanging on. And that's your issue, Mr. Masculine. Okay? You think she's broken, you think she's stupid, you think she's going to wait for you. You think you can go around, sow your oats, be in the wherever you want to give your energy and not make investments in her because she is not understandable to you. You're used to broken female, someone who is in pain, needs healing, and has been recently wounded, so it's easier for you to swoop in and be a knight in shining armor. But you can't do that. It means change your strategy, change your tactics, Temperance card, because it's not working. You're used to weak woman, and a strong woman scares you. She makes you think there's something wrong with you. That's because you're not doing your work, okay? If you were doing your work and you saw a strong woman, you would be excited. You would get out on one knee and say, hello, goddess, welcome to my heart, right? So that's what I got to tell you. So that was the general energies. Let's just do one more example and see what else we can see. And then we'll read the sermon and we'll go for this month. I'll see y'all next month, okay? So let's just check a little bit and see if we can get any more information. This is coming to balance, so you will balance out the karmic scales this month, but I feel it's going to be right before the end of the month. So, right before next new moon. Excuse me, right before next full moon. So right around the beginning of December, there's going to be a transition. Either y'all are not together, clearly so, or y'all will be coming together very quickly. Okay, Mr. Devil came out. See, this feminine is really, really strong and really, really patient and really, really loving and genuinely kind. Here's the deal, though. You know, empaths always attract a lot of narcissists because this whole wanting to fix somebody or waiting on them because you think you're going to help them. Sweetie, feminine, listen to your priestess, honey. Listen to me. You can't love somebody that don't love themselves, and you can't love on someone who's unable to receive love. If a person has some ill-advised, illegitimate, ill-conceived view of themselves as a being, as a worthy vessel of love, then you cannot get in there and fix a God issue. Love ain't gonna stuff a God-sized hole, okay? You're a human. The divine used to come in there and do that work. I'm just gonna say it like it is. And that is true. So ultimately, in terms of my guidance, I would say withdraw your energy. Both people, whomever feels like it's unfair, needs to withdraw their energy. And it's not saying go away. It's just saying do some soul searching. The answer lies inside of you. And if you can't get in touch with your spirit and find the shadows lying in there and find the solution to the shadows lying in there, you might be out of alignment. In the heavens, it's saying the truth needs to come out. Okay, the truth here is that the feminine does not need the masculine. It's the other way around. You know, and that's my belief. I'll say more in the mystery school, but I believe that the female always receives the masculine energy, and the masculine is always going out, returning to the feminine. That is the way the high priestess and the magician works. The reason the high priestess is number 2 is because she is unable to unlock the divinity alive in the magician. So the high priestess has the Torah open in her lap because she knows the mysteries. She is the keeper of the mysteries by birthright. That means she has a womb where our minds began. Well, the mind that needs to begin is in that first major arcana, that magician. Come to the mystery school, we'll talk a lot more about this, but the magician has a closed Torah on his table. Yeah, he's capable. God is alive in him too, clearly so. The creator came correct. However, the masculine needs to not just get knowledge of himself, but knowledge of the world around him before he can materialize something. That's why you go from the 1 to the 2, because the feminine has the relationship with the world itself to do said manifestation. And then the manifestation has happened in the number 3. Then you have to wait 9 months, 10 months, whatever, for a cycle to complete. Oftentimes the baby, not always, right? So you're entering in the month here. This is not a second group. This is the same group, but this is the medicine. The other one was what was going wrong, where the sickness was, and here's the medicine. So truth is coming out, or truth has come out, and it's that the feminine found enlightenment, vitality, invigoration, renewal, enlightenment, and the masculine is finding an intention, a willpower, and a desire. And the response here for the feminine is like, listen, honey, let's end this casual dating, sugar, honey, iced tea. I don't know what you're smoking. Go back to that dealer, get a refund for that crack, because I don't know what you thought, that I'm going to be involved with someone who can't give me nothing. Okay, listen, we did our little kiki thing here. We were children for a minute. Now it's time to grow up and be an adult, and my needs won't get met anymore. When I was healing and on the rebound, you was a good little bed pleasure, but now we need to come correct and get back to reality. And so here is what's being said now is... the masculine is saying, well, I don't think she's available to me anymore. Dude, if you ice her out and you don't call her for several weeks at a time, of course you're going to think she's not available. But she's not going to allow herself to feel like a piece of caca. She's going to honor herself and stand in her power. So she's just going to cut her losses. All right? Now, listen, I had a Vedic astrologer tell me one time, I don't know why I'm saying this, it's relevant. Y'all need to come to the mission school if you want to learn about how my philosophy of divinity. I've been studying for 22 years, so come for me. Anyways, long story short, I had a Vedic astrologer tell me, when you do the synastry astrology in for couples, it's funny because you'll notice that the woman, her issue in relationships, the mistake she makes in the relationships is choosing the wrong partner. And the masculine, it's always their thought forms. You'll notice that the end of the relationship is typically because of the projection of the thought forms. And it's here. He's projecting that she's not available for love anymore, but she needed to put an end to the 3 cups. He had 2 cups, and she had 1. She was healing, so she allowed for that little distraction. But after a couple weeks, it was like, well, listen, homie, you're married or you're in a relationship or there's something you love that you're giving your love to. You're not able to give love to a relationship. And so now the focus is like, okay, well, in the future, I'll be divorced. And she's like, well, hey, honey, I have yet to see that. It is still hidden from me. Where's this judgment? Sun's in reverse. Something's still hiding in the shadows. What is it? Reveal or else. Judgment card. Reveal or else. Well, what's hiding in the shadows is that in the future, remember, bigger, brighter, better future, there will be some type of separation. 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords to me is wedging in between a partnership or wedging in between a decision. Now, the sacrifice to make here is that you're isolated, feminine. You don't want to be stuck not knowing or stuck being lied to or stuck being deceived. You want to understand your intuition. And you do. You will come into it, but it means that the cycle is completed and you're freed. You get to leave the double energy behind. In reverse, no, the double energy is still there. Luckily, it's on the masculine side. This is a feminine month. Scorpio is the feminine side. I'm addressing directly the females, okay, or the feminine archetype. So on the masculine side, the response to that is he's figuring out what he needs to do to manifest this connection. I'm hearing a little too late for that. That's what they're saying to me, so let's clarify that. This message was sent by Uranus, so the creator, the light alive in everyone. Let me clarify that one. Okay, so we're going to clarify this card, and it's on top of the Temperance energy on the masculine side. How is he exactly going to manifest on whatever he thinks he's going to manifest? Let's have a look here. Okay. Okay, homie. I see what you're doing, and I understand why you're doing it, but you're out of alignment. It's okay. You'll do better when you know better. And if you don't do better when you know better, the word for that is narcissist. So, do your work. Do your work. I don't need to call you the N-word. You need to ask yourself if you were N-word. Let me help you with that. Are you able to see yourself? Are you willing to believe that you're fallible? Are you willing to believe that sometimes you contribute negatively to other people? And when you discover that you've affected someone else negatively, you're willing to make an amends. And if you are not a narcissist. But if you somehow think you're perfect and everybody else is to blame and you ain't done no nothing crazy, no nothing seedy, no nothing scandalous, you're smoking crack. That's the real deal, homie. Because here we are. If we're reading on the masculine side, the feminine is waiting on somebody to deliver a commitment. And she's withdrawn her energy now because she is under the impression, masculine, that you have rescinded your offer of love. She was very passionate about you. And it could have just been sexual and not romantic if you were willing to be open and honest about the opportunity. But she's no longer willing to collaborate on any more work. She feels that the investments she has made in you are now becoming an expense, and she will invest no more. Do you hear what I'm saying? You, Mr. Masculine, to find your spiritual power and learn how to either offer up a commitment or renegotiate the expectations or the needs in this relationship here. She was at one time willing to just be intimate and not in a relationship. So y'all could have shared bad pleasures. And that's what happens in a karmic relationship. One person is healing. One person doesn't want to rebound. So they're going to engage in pleasures of the flesh just so they can have a distraction. They can come into their own power. And then typically once one person is healed, the two are separated. The other way karmic relationships come together is that one person is repressing and suppressing who they are, what's alive in them, so much so that they're dishonoring, diminishing, diluting, distorting the truth of who they are and why they're here. So the only way they can see those things is by projecting it onto another person. And so the universe sends you someone to co-project. And that's what was happening. And the feminine is done. The masculine's still up in that stupid crap. I don't know how to say it without an actual cuss word. So listen, masculine, I'm not going to wring you out like a dirty wash rag like I usually do. But homie, honey, darling, child, collect your shiznit. Get your shiznit together, homie. This is actually really beautiful because I can tell you're opening up with your emotions. You are doing work to figure out your spirituality, but it's kindergarten work, and this is not kindergarten, okay? I'm just going to let you know. Kindergartners don't have intimate relationships. So if you're in high school and you need to get to college, you better go ahead and get that knowledge. Go ahead and read and read and read. Get on the YouTube, get on the Google, do your work. Because you are scared to commit to someone who is openly willing to be receptive to collaborating on whatever you want to create in the relationship. You have a princess of wands with a king of wands. Y'all could have just had some bed pleasures, but you reached the end of that because you have the 7 here. So that means somebody found their power in that connection. But you also have the king and the queen of pentacles. So that means you're at least matched as soulmates. And on the masculine side, what could be happening here is that y'all could have an equal beneficial, mutually beneficial needs exchange, but somebody's not willing to do that. I don't know why. And I mean, what I'm seeing personally is that the person smoking crack here is the masculine. The masculine is not willing to put sufficient work in here. So the feminine is sometimes thinking, okay, I'll take them back if they come back, but I'm not going to go chasing them to get them back. Let me repeat. If they come back, I will take them back, but I'm not going to invest no time chasing them down trying to get them back. There's your options. Priestess done told you. Better come. Correct. Masculine. That's the nicest way I could say it to you. And it's fine. We have a little bit more guidance here. Why don't we look at it? And again, remember I'm in a temple. It's a little noisy right now. I'm behind in my recording schedule, not my work schedule. So I just need to do this now so it can get out. You know, it's a holiday month and there's a lot of shadow ceremonies for people getting married on the solstice next month. You know, I also officiate weddings and stuff like that, and I won't marry you unless I do pre-couples counseling and a shadow ceremony for the couple, and November is an excellent month for shadow ceremonies. So I've just been a little bit busy this month. Okay. Yeah, so it's saying that the feminine is waiting, and the masculine needs to be able to offer up a commitment, and they're not able to offer up a commitment. That really, truly, genuinely, they felt a passion, they felt a spark, and when a person was loving and nurturing, and more than just physical, it scared them. Because again, like I said, masculine, you perceived the feminine as weak and as broken, and you were smoking something. I don't know what it was. Yeah, of course she was healing. I don't want to say she wasn't. But see, that means you're opportunistic then. If you go for the easy fruit, if you go for the low-hanging fruit, it says a lot about you. I'm just going to put it that way. I don't like what I'm getting. And what they're telling me is that you are fearful now because you found the real deal and you thought you were going to get away with doing the dirty, the nasty. That means you were cheating on your spouse with the feminine here. And you caught more than a couple feelings. And you realize, okay, this is something I actually should be aligning myself with in my life. Now, for some of you, you didn't even tell her that you were married. It might not have mattered, you know. And then for some of you, you're not able to get out of your commitment now because you thought you were never going to leave your spouse and you were just going to engage in bed pleasures, which is fine. If both parties agree, that's fine. I don't like hidden things. I don't like lies. That's what it is. And so that's the real thing. Somebody's got to come correct, and it's the masculine. You've got to honor what's alive in you. You've got to state your desires. You've got to go in the directions of your passions. You need to speak your truth. Now, one thing I want to say is you're capable of doing it. I mean, the magician's upright with that temperance card. That's really good energy. So this is the energy that accumulates in the background, and this is the directing of the energy, okay? This is the casting of the energy. And opposed that is the deception. So that could also mean a cycle, a 2-week cycle from the full moon to the new moon. So something comes out and then it begins a 2-week countdown, but it ends in an impasse. So you need to figure out what you want for this relationship to move forward, because you're hiding in the shadows the fact that you love her and that you have made a decision that you want to be with her. Okay, so let me check one more thing here. So we are clarifying on the feminine side now for this. Why are we at an impasse? You know, why are we not able to make it through this deception or the scary intuition or whatever? You know. Okay. So we have 3 10s here. So there's clearly something ending here. There's a transition and a completion of a cycle. Now let me be very clear, feminine. So the masculine was having money issues, and they want a commitment, but they need to handle the separation or divorce. Now, if that's not the truth, they were wounded and they're unable to accept this new truth, so they're not willing to collaborate on an emotional commitment. So I feel feminine, you're going to end up moving on because this is a one-sided bond. This is a one-sided bond. The other person won't make you their person. You have somebody out there for you away from this connection, so you should take the finality of whatever it is. So if the finality is y'all two are just going to engage in bed pleasures, then just do that. Don't expect no emotions. Don't expect no emotional commitment. Whatever it is, it needs to be a final recollection. And it might feel like you got done dirty. And honey, if you do feel like you got done dirty, then don't feel bad about walking away and never looking back. Because collectively, both of you want to come out of the darkness, come out of the blue, come out of being left out. But again, whatever you want to build up in this connection isn't going to be built up in this connection. Not with this. Not with this. So he's going to figure out how to get away or how to make it right. And that's, again, he's acting out of his guilt. He's acting out of his shame. So whatever happens gets revealed this month. So luckily you have the High Priestess here with the moon. So whenever there's a moon and the High Priestess, whatever is hidden isn't hidden from you for long. Okay. But again, something needs to come to the surface and y'all make your decision then. And both of you, male and female, just move on. Keep it moving. And I realize that I have some lesbians watching and some gay guys watching. I'm two-spirit myself, so you know, masculine, feminine archetype. One person will assume that role. Yeah, y'all weren't making sufficient investments, and it's just not going to come together. It ain't going to come together because you're not responding to your call to action, and I feel it's the masculine being called to action, and it's not progressing. So we figured out that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. So let me just do a different read over. So in the third dimension, the condition of the relationship right now in the material plane is that the feminine is done with the cycle and the masculine is now, so the feminine left the devil energy and the masculine is still under the devil energy. But the thing about the devil energy is, understand that it's two people there. So when one person leaves, the other person, it dissipates for both of them. But the masculine is still under the devil energy and the feminine has already completed her cycle. So she's out of the karma, or she will be at the end of the month. And then in the fourth dimension, the emotionality of the relationship is the female believes that the masculine is being combative. And it might not be a mental thing, because this second layer here is the emotion, the emotional body. We have the physical body, the emotional body. So the emotional body, that's what's being manifested. So the masculine, like I said, too much thought energy. Too much cerebral activity, too many thought forms. Masculine, I saw you coming. Okay, homie. Now, in terms of the archetypes, the mental body, the feminine is healed, but she doesn't feel better about the situation. It's a bittersweet victory. And the masculine needs to understand who he is on a celestial level, who he is universally. Now, in terms of the archetypes being used here in this connection, you need, it's called death. It's a death of the ego, disillusion, getting rid of the illusion here. Okay, and then in the heavens, really what it is that see, the feminine's job for the masculine was to help him get out of his karmic cycle. She needed to be a force to be reckoned with. So the purpose of the connection for the feminine was to remove whatever foundation. So when the feminine found the masculine, when they came together, what the feminine needed was healing from the previous connection, and what the masculine needed was, he had some stinking thinking. He just was continuing to F up all of his relationships because he couldn't be right with himself. You know, masculine, I hope it doesn't feel like you're getting beat up, because trust me, let me tell you how I really feel and you'll see what's up. So this is actually kind advice. I would tell you to face what's alive in you, because you're running around, walking around wounded. You're giving off the energy of a vulnerable narcissist. So this is someone who keeps looking to manifest what they didn't get in the previous relationship, and then you'll discover after 5 or 6 relationships that what you're trying to manifest is something mommy and daddy didn't give you. And you're unwilling to recognize anything other than the pain. But understand, when you're responding to your pain, whatever behavior comes from that reaction is going to be affecting the other person, and you're unable to come to the table, come correct and say, oh, I realize my behavior affected you poorly. Let me apologize and reconcile my behavior. No, you're fueled by your own brokenness right now. So you're not going out there with the intention to harm, but when you harm, you're unable to see that you're harming people because you're still trying to work out something from mommy and daddy. I'm going to tell it to your face, masculine. I don't care about your feelings. I care about your work. You hear what I'm saying? So that's my guidance to you. Now, feminine, stand in your power, honey, because something is ending here. You need to cut the cord. If something won't come out of the shadows, if somebody won't come correct and reveal to you what they've been hiding from you for a while, then you need to cut the cord. Unfortunately, if they're being combative and you feel like you're unable to move on, you've clearly made, this is you, this is him, that you've made it, you've completed your cycle, you've made it out of the devil energy. He's still in the devil energy on his side. Okay, sweetie? So that's what Priestess has to say. Let's go ahead and read that sermon, y'all. It says here, improving health. All right? So let's read that. And we'll be reading from the Angel Answers Oracle Guidebook by Doreen Virtue, and we're going to be reading Improving Health from page number 41. I'll give you a minute to get out your books for the sermon this month. And again, my name is Priestess Gorgeous. I was your oracle and your guide today. We went in and did a divine partnership assessment on the karmic relationship. So I don't know if you're a sun person, so the sun and the moon, and if you're very physical and you're not a light worker or you're not very spiritual, then that would be Mars and Venus. Venus's true husband is Jupiter, not Mars. Mars is boyfriend material. Okay, excuse me, but Mars is a thought boy. Jupiter is the man who comes to lay it down and form an actual commitment. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that to the feminine. All right, so I'm gonna go through here and see if there's any final messages. While I'm doing that, if you would please go ahead and smash that like button, and if you're a new subscriber, I want to welcome you into Vertex of Abundance. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. While you're at it, go ahead and smash subscribe. So we have the High Priestess and the Moon. So the Moon is the mystery, and the keeper of the mystery is the High Priestess. Both of those are on the feminine side, along with the Sun and the Judgment card, and the Moon and the Three of Cups. Okay, so well, I read the Moon and the High Priestess already. So the Three of Cups talks about an expansion of the soul. So she finally got some of her mojo back. Okay, now on the masculine side, we have the Magician. We have, again, Mercury in the soul, so the Ace of Cups, and then we also have the Three of Swords, the Temperance card, and the Five of Wands. So 5s and 7s are always conflict energy. And then the Three of Swords is internal conflict. There's a truth that's been revealed for the masculine he's unable to deal with. And the truth is who he is and what's alive in him. You probably had to deal with some of that pain from childhood, and you reacted. You didn't respond. Okay, so I can see you very clearly, masculine. You need to come to me for a little reading because we can do some good work together. I am a hard ass. You're welcome. But I want what's best for your soul. I will do whatever the soul group tells me, whatever medicine is for you. So I like to deal with the part of you that's alive in the heavens, and the heavens is saying you need to heal, and that you're refusing to integrate that healing energy into the material. Now I will tell you, however, masculine, the healing energy is being sent to you. So when you change your thought forms, when you change your stinking thinking, you will integrate that healing energy very quickly, like over the course of a weekend, over the course of a overnight. Like overnight, it'll, because it's not an overnight success. It's not an overnight healing. The energy's already there. You're just not responding to it. You're just not integrating in with it. It's like you're driving down the highway and the carpool lane is empty, okay, and you're stuck in traffic, okay. Then you decide to get in the carpool lane, and then you're free to go. You hear what I'm saying? So that's what I got to tell you, masculine. Now, this Temperance card with the Magician literally means your thoughts will become a reality, but you need to think better so that you can see better. To change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change, masculine. For things to change, you have to change, masculine. For things to get better, you have to get better. Take a cue from the feminine. Deal with the pain. Respond like Kuan Yin, endure whatever your soul wants you to experience, and then take that lesson and integrate it into a bigger, brighter, better future. Okay? So this Three of Swords means the now is going to suck, but the future is going to be beautiful, brilliant. Honey, sweetie, darling child, go ahead and have a bigger, brighter, better future. Go ahead and be a bigger, brighter, better you. Don't let the good get in the way of the great. Don't let that stinking thinking manifest a stinking life, honey, because you're going to be stuck in that cage, and you're going to see her married to someone who gives a damn. Okay? And that's just gonna, well, this is a karmic relationship, so y'all do need to release. This is not one of the weeks or the months where we move on to a soulmate connection. It is soulmates, but it's karmic soulmates. It's not catalytic. You're not a catalyst. You're a lesson. You're not a book. You're a chapter in that book, unfortunately. But do your work. So let's read this Improving Health. Again, remember, we're reading from the Angel Answers Oracle book by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And we're going to be reading Improving Health from page 41. All right, let me move the mic over here. And let's put this card over there. All right, let's move this down just a little bit for the sermon. Okay? So, Improving Health. The angels want you to know that the health of the person you asked about is going to improve. You can request assistance from Archangel Raphael and the guardian angels to speed along the recovery. This card may also be urging you to make more healthful choices in your life. So for the feminine, leave. When love's no longer being served, get up from the table. And understand that you keep getting attracted to demons. You keep getting attracted to that shadow nature because you're an empath. And so as an empath, you're very sensitive to other people's healings and other people's need for healing, and you might want to be that vessel. But here's the deal. I had to learn this as a priest myself, because a lot of my first round of clients came out of my spiritual community, and that's a two-spirit healer community. I'm a two-spirit priestess myself, including with the crown. I am a crowned, initiated, and ordained two-spirit priestess. My issue in the beginning was that I was people that I initially been interested in romantically, all of a sudden needed healing. And if you're healing somebody, you cannot be touching their genitals. Do you hear what I'm saying? So if somebody needs healing, they don't need loving from you, and do not confuse loving with healing, feminine. Do not do it. That is unfair to you and harmful to the person that you're trying to heal. Listen to your priestess. Listen to me, honey. Don't touch their genitals if they need a clue about what's going on. Now, masculine, you need to heal mommy and daddy issues. You're a vulnerable narcissist, and you're bringing pain from your childhood into your relationships. Every single one of them. Get it together, masculine. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's okay that you were broken. It's okay that you needed some healing, but don't be so egotistical that you're unwilling to admit that you need to heal, and so you are unwilling to do your actual healing, because that's, again, unfair to you and harmful to other people. You hear what I'm saying? So that's going to conclude the sermon and the cast for this month. Again, this was the Karmic Relationship Healing cast called Revolving Doors. It's very much about karmic relationships. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. I'm going to be phasing out Priestess Gorgêous. That's going to be my personal blog channel. So if you're not subscribed to Vertex of Abundance, please go ahead and do so. And if you haven't hit that like button, please go ahead and do so. There's a new website coming out, so I'll make an announcement about that. So unless you want a very cheap reading for just, cheaper than you'll ever see again, go ahead and click in the show notes under booking and donations. There's an opportunity for a flash sale. And other than that, I'll see you next month. Peace be with you. Namaste, Dandavat, and Ashe. It was an honor and a pleasure to serve you today. Thank you again for the pleasure to do so. See you next month. Bye-bye.